Hello everyone, it's Helen here with Health with Helen, and thanks for joining me today in the kitchen. Today we're going to be making one of the easiest green chili recipes that you will ever make, and it's delicious. If you've watched some of my other videos, you already know that I use minimal ingredients in my recipes because I'm an acid reflux sufferer. Automatically, when we think green chili, we think acid reflux. Okay, can this recipe give you a little bit of reflux? Absolutely it can. However, everything that I eat now is usually done in moderation. So I can have green chili from time to time. However, I can't have it 2, 3, 4 days in a row. So if I'm gonna eat it, I'm gonna eat it right. A lot of the time what I do is I will just make up a big yummy bowl of green chili. I'll throw some cheese, some sour cream, maybe some lettuce on it, and then I dunk. Like I'm a dunker. So I'll just take some chips and I'll dunk it. Or maybe if you want to make a burrito, like with a tortilla and some refried beans, you can throw a little bit of this on top. I always think that sour cream kind of takes the edge off of the spiciness. If you're not a sour cream lover, I guess you can try some other things. I mean, just keep piling things on. Sour cream, guacamole, anything that you possibly can to kind of set off some of the spiciness. Now, the recipe that we're going to make today is very simple, and it shouldn't give you too much reflux, and it's delicious. Okay, so a lot of people like to use pork in their green chili, which is amazing. I love pork as well. However, pork can be fatty, and it can be greasy, so sometimes that's going to flare up the acid reflux. So today I'm using chicken, and what I did was I cubed up about 6 chicken breasts. So I'm using a lot of chicken. I'm making a big batch here. And all I did was I sprayed the pan with some Pam. You can use whatever you want though. You can use butter, you can use Pam, you can use some olive oil, however you want to cook. Today I just did Pam. And then I came in, which this is the part that you didn't see, I took a spoon, about just a large spoon right here, and I sprinkled flour all around it. I didn't measure it out. I just sprinkled it on top of the chicken. So while it was cooking, I sprinkled it around it, and it just gives it like a nice little crust on the chicken. So let me kind of like show you like right here. You can see it. You get a little crust while it's cooking. And so I'm gonna sit here and cook this just a little tiny bit longer. You guys are going to be surprised at how many ingredients are in this. I mean, I'm telling you what, I mean, it's under 10. It's under 10. So this is fresh, it's healthy, and like I said, if you are a reflux sufferer, it can be tolerable. So at least it is for me now. Now, if I would have went back probably 5 years ago, I'm always going back like 5 years ago, I don't know how much of this I would have been able to eat, but I am a green chili fanatic. In fact, this is probably one of my absolute favorite meals. If I'm on my last days here on earth, I'm gonna ask for green chili. That will be what I request. Like if I had, you know, you have a last meal, like, okay, what would you like your last meal to be? Mine is chili all day long, green chili. Because like I said, I love green chili just to eat in a bowl. I love it over burritos, enchiladas. I love it over my eggs. I love it over everything. Now, is this going to be the absolute best green chili recipe that you've ever eaten in your life? Probably not. It's not. However, I'm going to give it a solid C. Okay. I'm going to give it a solid C. So there you go. All right. So the chicken is almost cooked. And what we're going to do next, now we've sprayed the pan, we've gotten the chicken in there, we seasoned it with salt. We seasoned it with a little bit of onion powder, and then we seasoned it with some garlic powder, okay? So we just sprinkled it on top of the chicken. We threw the flour in. Remember, we're not measuring out the flour. We just sprinkled it, and now we're cooking it. It'll vary on what type of a stovetop you have, on how long it takes to cook the chicken. Mine does cook pretty fast. I've done some prep work here again today, so here's what I did next to kind of start preparing. So you're gonna use some cornstarch in my chili if you decide to make it. And what you do is you just do 5 spoonfuls of this cornstarch. So you grab a cup about yay size right here, and you just do 5 heaping spoonfuls in here. So you can see about how much there is, right about there, all right? And then I'm going to, you can use skim milk, you can use 2% milk, you can use vitamin D milk, you can use half and half. I'm going to use half and half, okay? I like a little bit of a thicker green chili because, again, I kind of like it saucy. I like it thicker. Some people like it runnier. Totally understand. I have met family members that love it runnier. I can't really compare because my mom and dad are like the green chili champions of the world. So this little recipe right here is my own. It's a knockoff, okay? I took little bits and pieces of their recipe, but it's not even close to what they make. But I'm gonna use half and half, fill it to the brim, and then I'm going to stir around all of that cornstarch here. So this is just going to be my thickening agent, okay? Right here, so super easy, but again, use whatever you want. I feel like the half and half definitely makes it a little bit thicker. All right, so you can hear it sizzling. Chicken's almost done. Again, I like to cook the chicken until I get that really like nice light crust all throughout. So here we go. All right, so as soon as the chicken is cooked, and you definitely want your chicken to be all the way cooked. We don't need anybody getting sick, right, from undercooked chicken. And that could definitely happen. So, all right, so I'm thinking that we're getting pretty close here. All right, so next what I'm gonna do is I am going to take some chicken broth, about this size too. So you're going to want to get the 48-ounce container if you're making a big batch, and you may even need a little bit more. All right, this one right here is half empty because I used some of it for my soup that I made a video on. So I'm going to use a half of this, and I'm gonna dump the whole entire thing in here right now, just right over the top of the chicken at a medium heat. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with another half of one because I'm gonna want a whole entire one in here until you're just completely covering your chicken, right? So, and as you can tell, like the sizzling has kind of died off a little bit. So that's a good indicator. It's just a little more than halfway full in your pot. So, okay, I got about a half a container left. And so I'm just gonna give it a nice good stir here. I like mine a little extra chickeny and seasoned and flavored just because I do. I can't obviously have a lot of the other flavors. And so for me, I do really good with the chicken broth flavor. And so I'm gonna add just one extra cube of chicken broth into this pot right here, just to give it that extra flavor. And I don't know if I have a container on it right now on the kind that I've been using. I don't, which is unfortunate because I would show you because it's a really good like little chicken broth brand, but I'll have to show you next time. This is what it looks like though at the store. Oh, it's that Knorr's, okay. And it's these little silver cubes right here. All right, so there we have it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna sit here for just a second and I'm just gonna give it a nice stir, make sure that it's all stirred in. And then I'm coming in with my green chili sauce. Okay, so because I want these kind of to cook together here. And so right here, I've got the 505 Southwestern, guys. This is my favorite. We've tried all sorts of them, and you can get this in the mild, the medium, the hot. There's all different kinds that you can get to put in here. This one right here is the 505 Southwestern mild, because I'm an acid reflux sufferer, green chili sauce. Okay, there are some different ones, so you're gonna wanna kind of check what you're getting here, okay, because you could get like a medium flame roasted green chili. Okay, that's not a sauce. This is gonna be a little different, right? And I know a lot of times when people make their green chili, they're cutting up jalapenos in it, they're dicing up green chilies in it, they're putting in all the good stuff. Guys, we're not doing that today, but trust me when I tell you, my chili will still have really, really good flavor regardless, okay? So we're only going to use the green chili sauce, and we're gonna stay away from all of the other stuff for today. So, all right, so here we go. So I'm gonna add this whole entire container of this 505 sauce, mild, into the pot. Okay, we're gonna give it a good little stir. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna give it just a couple minutes to come to a boil. So now I'm gonna kick up the heat, okay? If you wanna let this simmer for a long time, just so that the flavor can marinate and whatever, do whatever you'd like to do. Bring it to a light boil and just kind of let it just sit there and cook. I think that would be amazing. Today, for time purposes, we're not going to do that, okay? We're doing the speedy version because you guys don't want to be here all afternoon with me. I know you don't. So I'm just going to pick up my little mess here. We're going to throw away the cartons that we have. See, guys, it's very, very little. It's very little cooking ingredients that we have here, because now all we've had is we had our chicken, we had a little bit of our flour, we added a little bit of our seasonings, we got it all cooked up, we added our broth, we added our green chili sauce, Now we've got our cornstarch milk getting ready to go because this will be our thickening agent once it comes to a boil. It is super important for you to bring your chili to a boil before you add the cornstarch, because otherwise it won't thicken and you'll get little clumps and you'll get little lumps and it will be gross. Be warned if you're going to use an alternative milk. Now, I'm not saying some of them can't be great for green chili. In fact, there's probably many people out there who use different types of alternative milks for their green chili sauces and their soups. I need some ideas on that because I did use a particular alternative milk once to make a chili and it did not come out well. I mean, it was so gross. It actually had a unique flavor, and I remember I had somebody ask me just like, what did you cook this with? Like, what? Like, it was so gross. We had to throw the whole thing away, the whole entire pot. It was just like, what a waste, right? And so for me, I just keep it safe. I mean, would I like to be healthier? I would indeed. Today I just use, like I said, my normal half and half. However, when I was at the store, I actually bought this, and you guys might be interested by this because I'm going to try it in one of our recipes when we cook. But I got this A2 half and half. So it says 100% real milk and cream right here, but it says it's easier on digestion. All right. So yeah, it says the A2 Milk Company. Feel the difference. First time I've ever bought it. So I got this at the store today and I don't know, it kind of jumped out at me. And then on the back, it kind of tells you what is the A2 milk difference. And then it goes into ordinary milk versus A2 milk. And it says it comes from cows that naturally produce only the natural A2 protein, not the A1. Don't know the difference. However, I'm going to give it a go and see if I can even tell a difference. I'm going to see, does it make a difference in my digestion tract? You know, my tummy will tell me, so I'll keep you guys posted on this. Was it a little more expensive? It was, but it wasn't crazy expensive, okay? And so we will see when we get there. All right, guys, so since I added that extra bouillon cube, I don't really think I'm going to add a whole lot else. I mean, obviously, once everything is said and done and this chili's done, I always add a little bit of extra salt because I love salt. And so I add extra salt. If you're somebody who can tolerate pepper, throw some pepper in here. But like I said, I sprinkled some garlic powder onto the chicken, some onion powder. I sprinkled some regular like sea salt. And so it's definitely gonna have flavor. And then you've got your bouillon and everything. So it's gonna be so good. This is so delicious, you guys. And I really think you're going to enjoy it. And like I said, it doesn't take all day to cook this one. Whereas, you know, I have family members. It takes them a while to cook theirs, but I mean, it is quality. My family members, my mom, we're just going to say, my mom, she joins the chili cook-offs. That's how good her chili is. She's actually 2 years in a row been in the chili cook-off. Is my chili going to make the cook-off? No, guys, it's not, but it's still really good. So, but this is it. Everything that you've seen me do now, this is it. The only thing that we are waiting on at this point in time is for this to come to a boil on high. We'll add this. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and we are done. So, this is not one of those family secrets that I have to keep. You know how sometimes in the families you have those famous recipes and nobody can know what they are but the person who makes them, like they won't give away the recipe for nothing. This isn't one of them. My mom and dad's green chili recipe, that is one of them, okay? They're not going to share that one. There's that one, and then there's they make a good carrot cake. They don't share that recipe. And so we all have a couple of those recipes. However, I'm happy to share this one with you all. And I really do believe that if you're somebody who like loves spicy food, but you're just so limited, that maybe this will be something that you can try. I'm just really selective. So if I'm gonna like splurge and have like say a taco or maybe make some bean dip or something, I make sure that I use the mild taco seasoning. So everything that I do, I go mild. And if I'm going to do like a mild taco seasoning in my bean dip, so then I would add like maybe some cheese and some sour cream and some guacamole. I'm still gonna stay away from the onions and the tomatoes. So I pick and choose so that it's not like the bomb that I always talk about that goes off in your stomach, but so that you can still have that flavor, you can still have a little bit of that zest, and genuinely it's better than nothing. You get used to it and you absolutely love not feeling sick. So one of these days when I make the bean dip, which is a dip that I bring to a lot of parties, I'll make it for you. That way you guys kind of know. It's a great go-to. Everybody loves it. Well, I think they do. They eat it. So I don't know if they love it, but they eat it. And it's yummy. And so you're all probably familiar with like the 7-layer dip, the bean dip and stuff, but I'll just give you the acid reflux version of it. So, okay, everybody, it's starting to come to a boil. So here we go. And this is our final step. We're going to add this 50/50 cornstarch mixture. Remember, 5 spoonfuls. Voila, it's obviously going to change the color. And that is it. Okay, let's give it a second to thicken up. This is one of the longer recipes that we've made together, even though it's not super long. And I am into the prep work of cooking the chicken in advance, but I wanted you to see it. And if it doesn't get quite as thick as I want it to, I'm at least gonna like show you the color and what it looks like. So now at this point, I'm just gonna sprinkle, as I told you, just a little more salt, just right on top. So, okay, there we go. The flame is hot and rolling there. I always have to be really careful when I go to restaurants about getting green chili and stuff. Even though I love it, we already know there could be a lot of hidden ingredients in there. I have found this little mom and pop shop restaurant here in Casper where I live, and they make really good green chili. In fact, we had it on our omelets the other day and it was amazing. Let me kind of show you that while we're waiting, because we only got about, I don't know, 30 more seconds, and then I'm gonna be able to show you this chili. But this is kind of their chili, okay? Obviously, it is cold. It's not fresh. It was from the other day, but you can see like the homemade like jalapenos in there, and it had big chunks of pork and all of the good stuff, you know, all the good stuff that would genuinely make me not feel very well. I'm able to have a little tiny bit, like, so I get this yummy omelet and it's stuffed with cheese and mushrooms, all healthy stuff, all safe for acid reflux sufferers. But then I get the chili on the side so I can just barely dip it. Like, you know, like a baby dunk. You take what you can get. And so that is the chili sauce. We actually sometimes get it in the quart. Oh, guys, okay, it's completely thickening up here. You're going to love it. All right, here it comes. I'm gonna put mine in a little bowl so that you can see what the final product looks like, and then you can decide if this is what's for dinner, okay? All right, I'm really enjoying cooking for you guys. It's like, it's my passion. You know, it's funny because I don't consider myself a cook, but it's still my passion. I'm very used to making like 3 meals a day because we all eat different. Obviously, I'm an acid reflux sufferer. Brian, he is meat and potatoes most of the time, unless of course, you know, he's being really healthy, but you know, so anything with like steaks and burgers and potatoes and, you know, big salads and stuff. And so I can eat some of that, but, and then my son, obviously he's 16, so he eats different than we like to eat. And so we're all on a different diet. And so it's a blessing that I like to be in the kitchen because I've always literally been in here all day long, like cooking 3 different meals. So, and that's not a lie. Those who know me know that that's true. Like, yep, she's always in the kitchen and she's always cooking. And so I like to cook, and I come from a cooking family. And so I find it to be something enjoyable, and I find it to be an art. It's something I'm still working on. You know, there were times where I thought maybe I'll open up like a little restaurant with like soups and sandwiches, you know, because I had coffee shops and I thought about implementing that, but it's a lot of work, right? That's a lot of work. So that would have been getting in over my head, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't take that plunge. This is a lot easier, us doing this right here, right now in my kitchen. Not only does that save me a lot of time and energy, it saves me a lot of money because we know that restaurants can be expensive. Okay, guys, it boiled for about a minute and we are done. So I'm going to put just a little bit of this deliciousness in this bowl so you guys can see it. And then you can tell me what you think. Okay, there we go. So you got a little bit of the tomato peppers, but you don't got too much. Here it comes, guys. Right. Oh, here we go. It's nice and thick with chicken and just the right amount of little green chilies. Let me see if I can get a better view of it. Nope, not that way. Guys, I'm so sorry. Sometimes me with this camera is just a little ridiculous. Let's try to get you over here to the stove, if nothing else. There we go. Hopefully you can see that a little bit. If not, I apologize. It's dark in here. My light went out on my microwave. So anyways, we tried. It's delicious. I hope that you make it and I hope that you enjoy it. Have the best afternoon. God bless. Bye.